The only people that are mad about this raid in Elabelle, Georgia at the Hyundai mega site are probably people that don't pay taxes.
Shut up, loser. When you think MAGA can't be any dumber, they up it. They up the ante every time. LG and Hyundai are Korean companies, correct? You can correct me in the comment section, but I'm pretty sure they're both South Korean companies, right? And so Trump worked out a deal where they bring some of their manufacturing over to the United States. They settled in Georgia, which is good for Georgia's economy. It's also good for the local workers as well, for them to be able to get a job. I want people to understand something. When you bring a company over from another country, it is not uncommon for them to bring workers that actually know. Those workers, 9 times out of 10, are not just working the lines. They're training people. They're training people to get the job done, okay, the way that they want to do it. It's creating more jobs. And I live in Douglasville, so I'm right next to Carrollton, right? It's not even done yet. I don't think the warehouses and stuff are actually done, but they're coming over here to work on the cars, but also they're building out more buildings here in this little countryside. So, baby, you stop them from working. You know, South Korea is like, we're going to bring them home. The people that know how to do this, we're going to bring them home. That's going to also slow down production. Yeah, we're going to get them the fuck up out of there before they get hurt. Which is going to fuck up other foreign agreements, which is going to fuck up other things because they see how you guys treat foreigners. Y'all, that racism and bigotry is expensive. And we're about to pay the price.
Another thing is, I said I contacted ICE and I spoke to the agent. I didn't say I was the sole reason that the raid happened, but I'll double down. I'm glad it happened because I probably saved lives of people that worked out there. And like I said, we put a $5 billion investment into that factory and gave them $32 million in tax cuts, and Georgians were never hired, and contractors, good contract labor was overlooked for illegals.
So I be wondering, do these damn Karens just wake up and be like, who life can I fuck up today? Cause did y'all hear about that lady that called ICE on the Hyundai plant workers? It was 450 workers. She done called ICE on them. They done all came and ICE done detained them all. But I guess they had to be illegal immigrants for them to detain them all. But damn, why do people go out of their damn way to make somebody suffer? That's 450 families that they got out here that they not gonna come home to. That they gonna have to get a call and get the news that they father or uncle or brother or cousin ain't coming home. Because you just decided to wake the hell up and call ICE on the whole plant. And now they talking about South Korea mad. Why the hell people can't mind they damn business? That be taking it to, like, that's take 450 people. Her name is Tori Branham. Y'all can go look it up. Y'all, that is sad.
Hi family, how are you all doing? Thank you so much for stopping by again, and thank you to my amazing subscribers. In case you're just in my video for the first time, thank you so much. My name is Olivia. So we all know about the story of a white woman who called ICE on some Korean workers who are working at the Hyundai plant in Georgia, right? So this whole thing speaks about how much racism and exploitation runs in America. Yes. And then it's not really new to black people because, if there's any if anything happens, white people always call either the cops or eyes on the blacks, and they're the ones that always pay the price, right? Now Koreans are speaking up and they are reacting so bad, like they are so angry that they feel betrayed. Because last time we checked, we saw Korean president and Trump, in a meeting talking about how the Korean president is going to, bring factories and, development kind of facilities in America, right? Like bring a lot of things in America. So now, seeing that his people is being detained by ICE, Trump, like, what do you guys think? This whole thing is crazy. Okay, this whole thing is crazy. I think this is going to bring a little enmity or a big enmity between Korea and um America. Don't forget China and America has their own thing together, right? Now Korean and America. This is getting serious. Okay, let's keep watching to see what people have to say about this, of course. And please don't forget to, subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Please drop your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to read what you think about this whole thing, okay?
So let's talk about what just went down in Georgia. ICE stormed a Hyundai factory and took nearly 500 people into custody. 500. More than 300 of them were South Koreans that were flown in to help build cars. But this isn't just any factory. This site was supposed to be a $5 billion electric vehicle project, a push towards clean energy, a symbol of partnership between the US and South Korea. Biden put this in motion as part of his green energy agenda. Trump tried to slap his name on it when he got back in office, but the credit wasn't his. So instead, he does this. He sabotages it with the largest single-site ICE raid in history. So let's think about what that means. South Korea is now in Washington trying to figure out whether their investment is even safe. And meanwhile, hundreds of engineers and technicians are gone, just disappeared into the system. Where are they now? Sitting in detention centers, being fast-tracked for deportation? Nobody is giving straight answers. And to make things even worse, they were building the future of American manufacturing, which has been essentially dead for decades now. These engineers were invited here, but Trump's immigration agenda isn't about stopping illegal immigration. It's about targeting people of color and flexing power over who belongs and who doesn't. So yeah, this isn't just an immigration raid. Once again, it was a political move. It was Trump cutting off America's clean energy future just to prove a point.
Let's take it from the top. It's not Hyundai, it's Hyundai. So if you're going to report anything to ICE, at least know the freaking name of it. Number two, in the first Trump administration, there was an agreement signed between Donald Trump and the South Koreans to bring some of their car manufacturing here to the United States. The South Koreans built a factory in the state of Georgia, and recently they have been adding to it, partnering with one of America's companies, LG, to produce electric vehicles, which would have brought billions to the state of Georgia and to the entirety of the United States and put a lot of people to work. Something you MAGA supporters are always complaining about. All of our manufacturing is being shipped overseas. And now that it's back in the United States, you want to open up your big fat Oopa Loopa mouth to ICE to get these people deported. And now all work has had to cease. And we've just damaged our relationship with one of our closest partners in Asia. I mean, do you people not think? It's this type of ignorance and silliness that got us Donald Trump in the first place, because you people just blindly do stuff. And now you just cost the state of Georgia jobs and money. I mean, what a stupid mother.
Y'all may have seen that Suja and the Hat Lady currently have beef. You'll see that on Suja's page, she has stitches with Hat Lady's videos. In the videos, the Hat Lady is making jokes at the expense of 8 Asian women who were detained by ICE. And she claims that she's trying to make fun of ICE, but the videos definitely were not a good look. I cannot speak to her intentions. What I can show you is this. Purposefully or not, the Hat Lady was putting Asian people down. If you're putting Asian people down, I don't think that lifts the Latino community up. I think we need to be able to help each other and pull each other up from these hard times. The current administration is trying to keep all of us down. They're trying to keep all disadvantaged communities down. And we have to be there to show solidarity and support for each other. It can't just be like fighting for crumbs. Okay, and in these videos where I talk about people's husbands, I'm not trying to say all white husbands are bad, but what I am trying to say is some people who try to have proximity to whiteness forget where they came from. They forget themselves. This is just a pattern I've noticed in these different women that I'm talking about. Hopefully you'll understand me and this won't be taken out of context. But I just think we need to all support each other. We can't be putting each other down like the video the hat lady did. No one is free until we are all free. Don't forget that.
So you really want us to believe that the FBI, the CIA, ICE, the DEA, and the Georgia State Police are all required like the fucking Power Rangers to pull up to a Hyundai plant and detain over 300 Korean workers, all for the sake of national security? No! This is all intentionally done. Trump is doing these ICE raids to go after his enemies. That's why he's targeting blue states and blue cities like Chicago. That's why he's going after the people that he knows directly gets in the way of him trying to enact this fucking dictatorship right in front of our eyes. This authoritative regime that Trump is trying to enact before he dies, he's going further and further to the extremes so that he can see this, because he knows that he doesn't have that much time left. And if he can't get you locked up with these ICE raids, he wants to get you locked up under your debt. Hyundai is being targeted because they're not an American company, and they're known for their ability to provide affordable cars. That's like their whole thing in the auto industry. That's their brand. That's the history of their brand. That's what they've been known for. But Trump doesn't want you to care about that, because y'all don't care about that. Y'all thought y'all was going to get freed by a stimulus check, right? Fuck out of here.
To that lady who called for ICE to go and raid that Hyundai plant over there in Georgia, I hope you have the day that you deserve. They detained 500 workers, and out of 500 of those workers, 450 of them was South Korean. Okay, so let me get this right. So South Korea opened up that plant in Georgia to bring business to the U.S. and to bring jobs to the U.S. And they sent their qualified people to train Americans on how to do that job. And yet they got detained. Not only possibly did you just cost the state that you currently reside in billions of dollars, but if South Korea decides to cease operations and just shut the whole damn plant down? Did you think that far ahead? See, that's be your problem. Y'all don't think that far ahead because you can't even see past your own nose. So you're talking about, oh, it's going to open up over 400 jobs for Americans. Ain't gonna be no job if the plant not there anymore. I mean, if over 400 jobs was opened up to Americans, who gonna train them? Y'all just detained their trainers.
I was the one that reported the information that I had to ICE.
So just to be clear, what you're proud of is hundreds of people being ripped out of a Georgia factory in one of the biggest ICE raids in history. 475 people, most of them South Koreans, were detained. And here's the thing. Hyundai already confirmed none of them even worked directly for Hyundai. Hyundai, that's how you pronounce it, by the way. They were subcontractors. Many were here on expired visas, not illegals hiding in the shadows like you're trying to sell. Translation? You didn't even expose a massive criminal conspiracy. You just disrupted lives, families, and jobs, and you're bragging on here online like it's a badge of honor. Maybe instead of clout chasing ICE, you should chase a history book.
There was a woman that called ICE on people working in a Hyundai factory outside of Savannah, thinking that she was being a hero by calling ICE. Now, I'm not going to get into the politics of ICE and everything. What I'm going to talk about in this TikTok is how it frustrates me that people do not understand how capitalism functions. They don't, like, it literally, they have such a surface level of what it means to live in a capitalistic society, what it means to have that economic system. The thing about capitalism is that you have to exploit somebody. There are people who were working in factories. And I'm not saying, this is not me saying it's okay that people are, that they are exploiting immigrants, but this is literally what we're talking about. You're not actually benefiting people by calling ICE on them. She was even in her video, she was like, oh, these people are like living in a small town or a small house with 5 families deep with no quality of, like, what do you think happens whenever you perpetuate capitalism? What do you think? How do you think Shein is so cheap? How do you think these things are cheap? And this is not me condoning it. It's just like, this is my literal frustration, because this is why we're making these arguments that if you really care about like the quality of life of people who immigrate to this country, maybe focus on immigration laws and not putting them in more harm's way to potentially go to a concentration camp. Like, and that's my thing, that I get so frustrated with people who just literally do not understand the functions of capitalism at the basic level, that you need someone to exploit. And there's always going to be levels of that exploitation. Like, literally the only people who benefit from all of this are the people who own most of it. It's literally the 1%. So you guys, like, literally get some fucking class consciousness. And it's so crazy. Like, I know this woman doesn't know shit because she thought calling ICE on these people was the solution. She really genuinely, in her hearts of hearts, thought calling ICE on them would be the solution, because as long as they're not in America, illegally, they're not going to get exploited. Like, oh my God.
I was the one that reported the information that I had to ICE.
Y'all be so bold. Y'all be so loud. Y'all be so wrong. Y'all be so uneducated. Y'all be so nosy.
Quick thoughts on this whole South Korea thing that's going on right now. There is a video circulating right now about that has a lady that says that she's the one that called ICE on the Hyundai, the Hyundai plant, where there was a lot of South Korean nationals there that was working to help set up the necessary infrastructure for this plant to open. Thing number one is that that white woman, if she is the one that did that, clearly tone deaf. Because there's no way that I would have got online and said, yeah, I'm the one that cost America $26 billion worth of investment. Meanwhile, you know, I don't have a tenth of money to replace that. No business, no investments, no way to be able to help out the U.S. economy. If South Korea chooses to no longer participate in our shenanigans, also known as the current U.S. economy. Not to mention LG done already told their people, they said, listen, we're going to go ahead and get you up out of here. Don't worry about that, sweetheart. Yeah. And not only have they done that, but the country where LG is headquartered at also has banned travel to the United States. Yeah. For what reason? To what end? Like, the jobs economy, the jobs data and statistics for the month of August just came out. Bleak numbers. But yet, you still have Americans that are playing these very, very weird and precarious games. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand the ignorance that's running about right now. Okay? Because there are going to be a lot of people impacted by this. Okay? And not just today, because South Korea's investments were supposed to go from, I believe, 2024 or 2025 all the way through to 2028. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. But more than anything, I need for white people to actually get this through their brains. Black people, minorities, people of color are not going to do some of these manual labor jobs. Thing one. Thing two, we had to import the talent for this because you're not talented enough. Very simple. Very simple. As there is a growing narrative that education just really isn't important, in order for us to stay competitive, in technology, we literally have to get the people that are doing better to come and do our stuff. Because we're not industry leaders in this, people. We're not industry leaders. I hope Hyundai and LG sue the pants off that woman.
I don't know what everyone's getting excited about. It's just more arrests on people that are here illegally. I think the Trump administration is saying it doesn't matter. We're showing you very clearly that this is not racism against the Hispanic community. Doesn't matter, Hispanic, Muslim, or Korean. Just like what's going on down in Georgia. 400 plus people pulled out of a Hyundai plant, Korean nationals. And he's just saying that you are here illegally, which means by the definition of the United States of America, that you are a criminal. And there will be no sanctuary for you. There will be no hiding. And if you get caught, you are going to be deported. Whether it's back to Mexico, over to Canada, over to the Middle East, over to Africa, or over to our friends over in South Korea. Look, if I can give one bit of advice, get the process going. If you want to be a citizen of the United States of America, do whatever you have to do, but let's get the ball rolling. This administration doesn't have a crystal ball. It can't decipher from the good people to the bad people. If we could, then all the bad people were gone, and we will let all the good people continue to chase the American dream. I truly am rooting for all of you. I'd love to see nothing more than all of you become citizens of the United States of America, but we have to do it the proper way. And if you do achieve that dream, at midnight, he'll be the first one here with open arms, ready to give you a big hug and say welcome to the United States of America.
So we have an update from the South Korean workers that were detained at the Hyundai plant. Chunky Milk has decided that they will be, all 375 of them will be deported back to South Korea and possibly be able to come back after visa situations are situated. Now, they are still detained right now. They are still in an ICE facility. They have not been able to speak to the public, and we don't know the status of them. We don't know when the flight is going to be booked to take them back to South Korea, and they're going to be held, I guess, indefinitely until that flight is booked. Now, I don't know how this is going to play out, but when they go back to South Korea, right now the news and reporters who are in South Korea are reporting that South Koreans feel betrayed by what is going on, and I don't blame them. This is a betrayal. These people came here to help build onto a factory that was already in existence, and this would have created more jobs for American citizens. And I don't believe that American citizens are going to be hired by Hyundai to finish up the work that these people were doing when they were being harassed, arrested, detained, and now deported. I don't believe they're going to do that because it's going to cost so much more. So we're going to see what happens. Chunky Milk is supposed to go to South Korea in October, and we'll see if that trip even still happens. But this is definitely crazy. And they are saying that they're going to try to do negotiations with South Korea and figure out some kind of visa plan, even though all these people have visas to be here. Again, I'm gonna stick with what I said last time. South Korea, I would not blame you if you decide to pull out all business operations from the United States of America, because you don't even know if your citizens are going to be safe coming here to work. Meanwhile, unemployment now outnumbers the amount of jobs that are available in the job market. Unemployment for Black people is higher than any other demographic. We are now above 7%. Like we told y'all, this was going to affect Black people, and we're seeing the numbers reflect that. And it's going to continue to get worse, especially for Black women. They now have the highest unemployment rate of anybody in the nation.
This is how Korea is reacting to the ICE raids at the Hyundai LG battery plant in Georgia. Here's the thing. This was my first job in US. Here, I worked as an interpreter, and I cannot believe this is happening at the place where I started my career. The US was literally begging Korea for more investment, and now they are arresting hundreds of South Korean business travelers who came here to help build American infrastructure. Korea is not used to being targeted like this, so I'm very annoying as Korean. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments.